Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 457. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 457 of the Gamecast. We have a spoiler cast coming up for you tonight, so there's no topic. We will be covering Stranger Things Season 3. So if you're listening to this and haven't listened to that yet, tune in. It's going to be good. We have a lot to go over with that season. But first, this is the Gamecast, and we have a lot to go over with what we've been up to, I'm sure. Tony, kick us off, because you missed last week. Kick us off.
All right, yeah. So first thing I played was Ultimate Alliance 3, which I think you guys have, right?
We talked, yeah, we have it.
Yeah,
we talked about it last week.
Talk about it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, like, I generally agree with what you guys had to say. Like, it's a good game. I'm not going to say great. It's not a bad game.
No.
It's just one of those things where I can see, like, the base for a good game or a very good game. It just needed a little bit more in terms of, like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like right there in its sights, and it just falls shy. Like, it doesn't reach for that reach for the gold there. It's just
exactly. It's just one of those things where it's like, for instance, one thing I noticed was like, okay, like, you know, you have your light attack, your heavy attack. Okay, great. And it's like, and you have jump. All right, so like, all right, cool. Jump light attack. What does that do? I'm like, all right, that's sweet. And I'm like, well, let me see what jump heavy attack does. And it's the same fucking move. I'm just like,
it's
really, like, it's, come on, man. Like, this is so easy. Like, just do it, you know? Like, one of the things is like Spider-Man, you know, he does like web somebody up. I'm like, all right, that's cool for the light attack, jumping light attack. And then the jumping heavy attack was the same thing. I'm like, why is it the kick thing, that his jump heavy? But no, that's his regular heavy. And I'm just like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, it doesn't make sense to me at all. But whatever, that's like my personal like nitpick where I'm just like,
well, you want a visual cue to like confirm the action that you're taking a little bit, you know? So it's like, wait, did I hit the right button? Because it looks the same. Like that
right.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it could be being annoying.
Yeah.
You want that confirmation of what you're doing because you're not looking at your buttons. You know, you know you're hitting the heavy, but then wait, this is the same as the light. I could see that being like annoying for sure.
Yeah. I do miss the environment destruction more. Like, it's those boxes and everything in this. But like, has anybody picked anything up and thrown it at anybody?
But yeah, you can pick up
because
like,
they're very like strategically placed, and they're pretty good for they're high damage or high stagger damage mostly. So if they're there, you're supposed to throw them.
Oh,
much.
Well, this is what I'm doing wrong in this game.
Yeah.
But I haven't used it really. So.
But yeah, you know, so let's get the bad out of the way. So besides that, where it's just like just some minor things, I'm just like, man, you guys could have like really just kicked it up one more notch. You know, the lack of, like, I know Mike, you had mentioned like a throw, and that was kind of weird. It's like, oh, like, I don't know. I just think there was an opportunity there to do it. I don't know how hard it is. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But the one thing was like, I kind of wished like every character had like one or two more abilities, and just to give you something to choose from.
Something the older games had.
Yeah. I think my biggest gripe so far with this game is the palette swaps. I just want
that's huge. Like
that's my biggest gripe.
Like it took me a decent while to unlock even one.
It's not worth it.
It's like, oh, it's
just shader.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's White Widow. I was like, oh, okay. Like,
but yeah, I mean, obviously, this is all I've been playing too this week, and it's just haven't had a game that's both so satisfying and disappointing at the same time.
Because you know, like, like I said, I hate to say I call it greatness, but it's like it's right there. Like,
it's
there's
like,
just
it's within grass. Like,
I mean, and again, it's just if they like took the best parts of the older games and put them together.
Honestly, like,
that'd be something.
It wouldn't be crazy. Let's say they delivered on what we're just talking about here. We're talking Game of the Year candidate. Right now, it's a good game. It's nothing bad, but it's not going to be something we'll be raving about the Game of the Year time.
Yeah. No, and I'm playing it still. I've beat the game myself, and I'm in the second like playthrough a little bit and going through Infinity Trials. And I'm trying to get it, stretched out so I'm ready to play it more when the new content comes. I'm not sure if I'm going to last a whole month for the first free update, but we'll see. So I don't know. I mean, again, there's more little things that I'm missing from the old games, but I'm still playing this game a lot. And
Yeah.
there, what is added sort of is this ISO 8 system, which is almost needlessly complicated, and it's just hard to
Agreed.
differentiate because it's just colored rocks. Everything, it's like, salt lamps everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Like I'm like trying to equip things. I'm just like, okay.
I mean, it's a whole other thing, and I kind of wish it was just like more traditional gear that you can like sort of differentiate visually and mentally a little better, so you can figure out what does what for what. But other than that,
I
everything
think the
else.
limitations of the Switch are playing a factor here, or just it just needed more time to.
I mean,
I think it's
no. I mean, again, I'm judging it against games that were on the GameCube for me. So
Fair enough.
I don't think that should be a limitation. Like, it's a similar length as those old games, but certain things are streamlined. Like, obviously it looks better in those old games, couldn't fit all these characters on screen that you do in this game, but just some camera and invisible wall stuff I haven't dealt with since I've played those old games too, or in there too. So it goes back and forth. I miss being able to teleport through walls with Nightcrawler, making actually being able to web an item and throw it into someone, or having like telekinetic powers and stuff like that actually did stuff. But still, its strength is pretty much, it's like a series of boss fights that are kind of unique each time, and that's really interesting to me. And you can replay it all again in the Infinity Trials. Problem is, some of the Infinity Trials are broken. Not too many of them, but some of them are just stupid.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, talk about the positives. Is that like I think the core gameplay is really satisfying. It's a beat 'em up. You're going to be doing a lot of like light, heavy combos. I mean, that's not.
Man, I just wish people had different weaknesses than stagger. Like, there should be like certain like elemental weaknesses. There's elements to keep track of that stuff.
Yeah,
but it only seems like it's what
it's for you. It's for you. Yeah, exactly. It's for you.
Strange.
It doesn't come into play.
It's not for us.
It really doesn't come into. I was hoping it'd come into play later. It doesn't.
It's just a little bit with the ISO 8. If you choose something that like enhances certain types of attacks,
I
might
thought
do
that's
it.
what they brought that in for. Like,
it's weird. Like, there's ones is like, increases your team's ice damage. I'm like, do you even have an ice character? Like, I know Crystal, some of her moves do ice damage. I'm like, is that it? Like, I don't know.
I got my guys to my highest level people to like level 60s now, and just recently I've noticed that once you level like up like Storm per se all the way, like she finally does like team sort of buffing, like everyone gets ice on their like hands or weapons to like hit with, like to buff their damage. Like it took that long for me to like see a boost like that.
But I mean, it's there. It's just, again, it just needs a little bit more refinement. And the thing is, I'll get to that. So the good things is that the core gameplay loop is really fun. Because honestly, like when we first saw it, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like I'm definitely happy about it. And they're like, Team Ninja's doing this. I was like, wait, what? Team Ninja? I was like, all right, like the Warriors team doing it. And I was like, I don't know how that's gonna work, but playing it, it's really fun because a beat 'em up in the Warriors formula, it's like pretty close. It's pretty similar. Like the Venn diagram is probably like that, I'd say. It's like 75% or so. So that's what it's about. Just like tons of enemies, and you just fucking fuck most of them up. Just like you're a powerful character, and I love that.
Yeah.
And then when you just get not even like there's some like, I don't know, elite mobs or whatever. They're fine because they have the stagger damage. But the bosses, holy shit, dude! The bosses in this game. There was one that was just absolutely a fucking cock block, like just a gigantic wall. And I was getting frustrated. I was like, what am I doing wrong here? Like, how far are you? Because I'll say it.
I'm on the X-Men part. I just started X-Men.
It's right after that. And I'm just like, holy, like.
I'm trying to think what you're talking about.
It's the next level after that, where you go into fight a.
I know that I wasn't a big fan of the Ultron. I'm sorry, I don't want to spoil this for people, but there's like machine parts where you have to knock the machines down and then activate the computer.
Those were super annoying.
Yeah, I was in an infinite loop because I didn't have them timed right in the beginning, and so I was just like, it was way too long for that fight, and I'm just like, oh, this was just frustrating.
That's one of the Infinity Trials that I believe are broken, because you have to do that again, except it's one of those trials where
what
you're
do you get?
constrained.
And what do you get from that trial? Just so I know.
You get a lot of. It depends, but
is it a palette swap? Because I'm not playing it for the palette swap.
No. Well,
you get levels though, right? You
get those experience cubes. You get some alliance points sometimes, but also every like star you get in Infinity Trials works towards certain costumes, which are I've only been palette swaps so far. The only one I've liked so far is Wolverine, because it switches just from the blue and yellow to the brown and yellow. It's still a palette swap, but at least it makes sense.
It's a palette swap, but
it's not like it's not his brown and yellow costume.
Yeah, at least it's an official goddamn color swap.
But so there's some where you have to you constantly lose health unless you take out an enemy in some of them. That's a constraint. And then those ones with those stupid barriers, any of the barriers, either it's those ones where you have to turn the thing on, or the moving laser barriers, which you just can't get past sometimes. Half the time when you're jumping through, and then there's snipers behind. So some of them are really broken. But I do think it helps to be considerably over leveled, and you still don't make it feel like it's easy either when you do that.
Yeah.
But like I said, the core gameplay loop is fine, and the character roster is awesome.
I love the roster. Yeah, I love the roster, and I love the designs.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's almost upsetting, because I'm like, oh, I really want to try this character out, but it's at the point where I'm like, I just want to progress, and I just kind of want to beat the game at this point. And then I'll save the other characters for like a fight, New Game Plus or something like that, or the DLC or whatever like that. But yeah, as far as like characters are, it's such a cool roster. I mean, base 36, I think, 2 free, supposedly another set of 4 for free.
He's definitely doing really well financially for them, and perfect timing with
absolutely
popularity and stuff. So
absolutely, and that's why I'm hoping that they're going to get a chance to do a sequel for this and just make all the improvements they can with this. Because
so you don't think that they would fix, air quotes, fix some of the things that are like issues that you have with this game currently with this game? Like, you think that these things are going to be
some of them are kind of fundamental to the design of the game, I think.
I think that palette swaps, I think that could be changed. Actual costume.
That's something they could do for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They wouldn't
definitely. I think I'd definitely pick this up for like $40 though.
It would be a little bit much to ask, I think, to give everyone like alternate abilities.
No, I'm okay with really my biggest thing. If they can make me worthwhile to unlock costumes, then it'll dive me more deeper into the game. Because right now I'm playing this game, finishing it, and I'm gonna do what I have to do on those side missions, and that's it. I'll unlock the characters, but I don't care about palette swaps. I don't give a shit.
Gotta get that
I
games as a service
I asked
stuff in there, huh?
Yeah. But I will say, I forget if I talked about this, but one of the things to me that I love, and I don't think it's as widely known, because this game is full on fan service. I will say, if you like beat-ups, you'll probably enjoy this game. But if you like Marvel, great, it's a very fun game to play.
Yeah.
But even beyond just a typical Marvel fan, me being a video game nerd Marvel fan, just there's so much attitude. So when you meet Venom, Venom, his one move is that weird blob teeth attack thing from Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yep.
Wolverine, Berserker Barrage, straight out Marvel vs. Capcom.
And he goes, Spider-Man says "thwip whip," right?
Yeah, flip. I'm trying to think. I think Storm might say something too, but they're just so much awesome little nods and bits where it's oh wow, that's really I'm rewarded for playing this game as a video game Marvel nerd fan.
Yeah.
So
it is interesting they chose for example, Jessica Jones is pretty much Kristen Ritter exactly.
Oh yeah,
yes, yeah.
Because that's where most people know her from. She didn't always really look like that, but she's her in this game, and it's pretty funny. So they choose the most well-known, popular version and shove them all together here. So it's pretty cool that way. I kind of wish the story was less boring.
Yeah.
It's
a beat 'em up.
I know, but
it's just about close to Endgame. I think it would have been fine. but it's just kind of like we just went through that, so it's like
we just did that. It's like the least interesting Marvel story I could think of right now. The only thing is, I don't know who's got to the end yet, but at the end there's a little variation that makes it kind of interesting.
Yeah,
it's the first time something kind of interesting happened, in my opinion, in the story.
Yeah.
So at the very end.
Yeah, but even like Iron Man, like Repulsor Ray and stuff like that. Like when I first did his. Oh, and the other thing is, I really like the Extreme Alliance. I just wish there was more unique sets rather than just everybody doing their own.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Some of them actually, and it's funny because in a way, Ultimate Alliance 2 did that a little better. They had like unique sort of animations.
Yeah, they definitely did. But yeah, I'd love to see like the Guardians have their own thing, and like certain the X-Men have their combinations where it's like Colossus throws Wolverine.
Yeah, there's no fastball special in it.
Yeah, I know. So it's one of those things where like I think the next iteration will get it, but that's
hopefully.
I mean, like I've been playing it so much. I couldn't give it lower than an 8, given how hard I've played it.
I'm probably 7.75 right now.
Yeah, I'm in the 7 to 8 range. It depends on how the last. I think I have 2 levels to go to beat it, and unfortunately, another game came out.
Yes, get into this one. Let's hear this.
Completely sucked away my time.
I want it, but I can't buy it.
And like, dude, I gotta say, like,
you can buy it.
I can't even believe. We'll get to that. I can't believe like the reservations I had about this game. Like when I first showed it off, because I was like, I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, but when I saw that trailer, I was like original trailer, I was like, okay, so like we're Harry Potter now. I'm just like, I don't know about this. And then the E3 trailer happened and completely shattered all my like doubts. And I'm so glad that did because
you were still getting it though. Let's be honest.
I understand I was getting it. It's just like one of the things like, am I gonna like this? I don't know. Like kind of cautious, optimism and stuff like that. Like now that I'm playing it, like any doubts were averted. Like
this is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
It is like it is the best Harry Potter game in a way because literally that's what it is. Like
I heard.
No spoiler alert, but like they're like, hey, you're gonna teach at this military academy thing. It's like, okay, cool. Now pick a house that you want to lead. It's like, oh, well, okay, like these guys seem pretty cool, so yeah, let me go with that. And it's about you building them up while still being a professor for everybody, and then like you can still meet with the other students and whatnot. I'm like, holy shit! Like,
there's a lot to do in the monastery. Like, there is so
much, and like that's the thing is like I feel
think
like
I played 5 hours and like have only done 2 battles.
Yeah, that's it. And the thing is, I think they finally found something that like kicks up the game to the next level. Because like, I mean, I love Fire Emblem. At the end of the day, it's a strategy RPG game, and all those have always been kind of limited. Like, oh well, what are you really doing between?
Right. And yeah, there's a bunch of them you could get, and there's like ones out on Switch already. So how are you going to separate yourself from these other ones, and how can you iterate on what you've already done that is successful and make it better? Yeah.
So this game, I'm not going to say like I don't want to say it's a straight ripoff of Persona, but they took, I think,
No, absolutely. I got a very Persona feel. Like the newer Persona stuff.
Yeah, of the Persona stuff where it's like, hey, like you have time, each week.
You have your calendar.
You have your calendar. And it's funny too, because I got the collector's edition and I pulled out I was like, what did it come with again? I forgot. I just pre-ordered it. Steelbook nailed it. And it comes with a calendar.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh God,
really
it's
cool.
like the most beautiful steelbook.
It's like Persona nailed the steelbook, and this one's nailed the steelbook.
Yeah.
I wish it was bigger. I'm like, oh, this steelbook.
I know. But I pulled out a calendar. It's like, why is there a calendar in this game? And as soon as I was like, oh, okay. But so between the battles, you have these moments where you're teaching, and you can explore the monastery and do like, you do fishing, you could do training, you could teach your
gardening.
Yeah, like all this like just RPG like stuff that you would expect out of like a Final Fantasy game or Persona, obviously, Dragon Quest and stuff like that. And it just makes it really fun. But what I super appreciate is that if you didn't want to, like just say you're a hardcore, like old school Fire Emblem fan, you could totally skip like the majority of the content. They're just like, oh, you could skip it. Like if you want, we'll skip it and we'll automate most of this shit for you. Rather than like,
and you can even not even do that. You can just do battles during those few times too,
as much as you want and stuff like that. So, I really love it. The story, I was kind of like glad that you're like, I'm gonna be late, guys. I was like, all right, no problem. And I got to this battle, and it came to the like, this plot line came to a head, and I was like, oh shit! And I was like, I can't stop here. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen next. And I started the next battle. I'm like, oh, this is like a major battle. I'm like, I'm not doing this by the end of before we start the podcast. So I was like, well, I'll just see what I can get done. I got like a third of the map. I'm like, all right, sleep, time to podcast. But love the game. Love like everything about it is so good. The one thing I really is the voice acting. Like there is so much voice dialogue in this game for almost all the characters too. I think all the characters have voice dialogue that.
Yeah, all the main characters and then a bunch of the NPCs that like don't matter have voice as well.
And just like seeing characters in the Fire Emblem characters in HD and stuff like that, they nailed it 100%. The only criticism I have is like some slight performance issues in the monastery, but like I mean that doesn't matter. It's not like you're
And strategy RPGs, you don't really necessarily need the best running thing as long as it executes what you're telling it to do.
Yeah, exactly. So full recommendation, 100%.
Yeah, Corey, you've been playing this too, right?
Yeah, no, I skipped Ultimate Alliance because I knew this was coming. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do both of these concurrently. So I was like, I'm going to choose one or the other, and I chose Fire Emblem just because there's more to that game. I think.
Everybody's saying Harry Potter in Fire.
And it definitely is.
Yeah,
I do like. Right away, you're kind of introduced to these 3 heads of houses, and it's like they're gonna try to recruit you right away. And the one guy's like, "Dude, what are you trying? Like, I was gonna try to be his friend and try to build this relationship. Like, I guess we're just going right in." Yeah. Which was pretty funny, and I do like in that for that reason. I was like, this guy's pretty cool. So I chose that guy's house, and if you're connected to the internet, it shows you like the most deployed characters.
I forgot the battle. I think that's a really cool thing.
The one character is like not the guy that I chose, but the one from the Black Eagles, the girl like Elder Guard or whatever her name is.
Guard, yeah.
Yeah, she's number 1, and like most of her house is like number 1 on like, the most deployed. I'm like, oh, well, I guess we know who's most popular is the Black Eagles there. And I did like them initially. I was leaning towards them, but I was like, I kind of like this Golden Deer house, and it's giving me this Baratheon vibe, but like, you know what? It's all right. The Cloud character is cool though. I do like the Cloud character. Claude character. He's pretty funny, and when you do pick a house, you get to learn a little bit more about those characters, particularly. And you can go off and choose other ones. There is a character that's straight up Starfire from Teen Titans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I need her on my team, so I'm just recruiting her hard right now because it's pretty funny. And she's basically just straight up is like, this is not the method of my speaking or whatever. Starfire speaks like. This is the thank you, and
that's why I was like training her. She's like, I have the gratitude, something like that. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I was like, she's from a foreign country, so she's like learning the language. She
doesn't know the language and stuff. But it's, like you're saying, Tony, there's so much you can do, and there's a lot to learn. And you do want to go and speak. You can pull up your map and it's like, who have I not spoken to, and just quickly fast travel to that area and just go and speak to these people. And most of them have quests and things, and you do have to kind of use your points because you have certain an allocation of points that you can use to do certain things with people. And there's one actual quest I had to skip because I didn't have a point to use it because I was spending my points willy-nilly. I didn't realize. I was like, oh shoot, I probably should have made sure I used these to accomplish some quests and stuff. So this is a lot to do, and I am enjoying my time with it because like you said, there's the battle aspect, and then there's the school aspect, and straight up Harry Potter stuff. And then, the story's pretty interesting so far. I'm curious to see where it goes. Especially with the trailer, we know what's coming later, and it's and there's going to be a time jump at some point. Yeah, it has to be. And so it's like, oh man, what's going to happen? And you can recruit the other characters from the other houses, and it's like, do I go for these heads of houses because they're not going to be around later on? It's going to be some story element or something, Dude, so I was like.
I'll say the one thing I'm appreciating about this game that I don't think that the previous ones did was that there's more choices that actually seemingly determine the outcome of the game. Yeah. The game even flat out said there's no holding back. It's your choice will absolutely determine the rest of the game kind of and I was
this Telltale Walking Dead thing going on. This person's gonna remember this. That's how it feels sometimes you answer a question and I'm happy, I'm more motivated, but I'm in my head's this person's gonna remember this.
Exactly like Walking Dead or Mass Effect 1 and 2 thing where I just had to set the controller down. I'm I need to think about this. Step away, go to the bathroom, look up thoughts, be all right, I go with this decision.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and like people like and these kids and they're asking you these questions like about their like future and stuff too. And it's like, oh man, like how I answer is gonna impact their lives and stuff. It's like, oh geez.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I definitely have been enjoying it, and obviously with the Switch and the portability is great. So
Yeah, I'll be
got to play that a little bit easier.
Yeah, I will be checking GameStop tomorrow, and it's already digitally in my cart. But I will own this game tomorrow. That's the way it's going to be.
When
So,
do you leave?
I leave Thursday morning. So
Yeah, you can get it tomorrow.
yeah, I'm going to swing by GameStop. Hopefully, I went
There's an
today.
update. Make sure you get the update.
I know. I went today to get it. I tried 2 GameStops. Neither of them have it. And I tried Target again, and they don't have it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is
I
great.
think Walmart had a sale on it too, which was like $10 off. Also,
Wow. Yeah. So I don't know. I've got credit at GameStop. And I have coupons too.
Best Buy didn't have it, didn't you?
I didn't go there because I didn't have any, like, I don't know. I didn't stop any Best Buys by me. I just Target's next to me and GameStop. So, but yeah, I don't know.
It's good.
Let's get into some news. Let's see. What do we got? Okay.
I do want to mention, like,
your Joy-Con.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have the Joy-Con news on there, and
I have the Joy-Con news on. Let's do that.
So yeah, well, what's the news first?
The news is Nintendo has decided that there's a class action lawsuit against them, and that has pushed them to decide to quietly fix these Joy-Con issues. So they're pushing all of their service guys to answer the phone if there's a Joy-Con drift issue to replace that Joy-Con. So really, and we mentioned this last week. I heard they were doing this, but now it's official. Like they'll be, it's posted everywhere now. So Corey, how did your experience go?
Because like we talked about this. Was it a couple weeks ago?
It was last week. We were talking about it last week.
Okay, I feel like it was longer. So I did, because I have this problem. Like,
yeah,
and it was fucking me up with Xenoblade. Like, that was like, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like every time, because like it has these automatic battle like sequences that just happens. Is these frames that when they get interrupted, you break your chain and like it affects you. And I'm like, why is this happening all the time? Like, fuck, it's killing me. So I actually reverted to the Pro Controller because like I can't use my Joy-Con. And then if you go into the calibration, it's like you just see your thing just go flying off the screen like, to the side. So I'm like, oh well, I guess I have a problem here. And then hearing that news, I was like, oh, cool, I'm gonna sign up for a repair. So I sent them an email and stuff, and I did that last podcast. I guess it was a week because it was like
last week.
Like at the end of the podcast, I sent them a message saying, "Oh, I need this to get repaired," and then they didn't send me a notice until today, which is a week later, which is kind of a little upsetting. I felt like they should have gotten back like
48 hours. You figure 48 hours.
Yeah. So in any case, they respond saying, "Hey, just here's a shipping label, send it to us." They didn't ask for any credit card or anything. And they prepaid shipping label. So it seems like I'm not going to need to.
Yeah, I mean, I had my Joy-Con replaced in the beginning with the Switch.
Well, it was as a Bluetooth issue, right?
Yeah, and so that was very painless. It was like boom, like here's prepaid label, ship it in, ship it. I got it like real quick, turnaround too.
Yeah. I'm gonna ship it out tomorrow and see how it goes. So hopefully that resolves the issue. I was like almost tempted to buy new Joy-Cons, but I was afraid that the new Joy-Cons would have this issue in the future. I feel like
they haven't addressed it 100% yet, have they? I mean, that's why we
don't know. You've got like 3 pairs of Joy-Cons, so you haven't had this issue. Which
I have
5 pairs.
I have a set of gray, and then I bought pink and green. So that's what I have, and fortunately for me, knock on wood, none of them are drifting. So, I mean, that's it. Like my split is like probably 20% handheld, 80% console. So I just use Pro.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like I hadn't used that too much. I spent a lot of time with Xenoblade, but like I didn't think I used it as much as that much with the Switch.
Yeah, supposedly like it is a design flaw with I think one of the materials they made one of the things out. So it's one of those like. Almost all the Joy-Cons will experience it. It's just like how
and that's the thing. I was just worried. I was like, I'm not going to buy a new set of Joy-Cons. They're going to have this.
Is it like, guys? Is it N64 controller all over again?
No, I don't think.
You remember the stick? I mean, those things just wore out.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's that bad.
The only time I had it drift was with a 360 controller.
Oh yeah. I mean, they have all that.
But yeah, this Pro Controller is great. So the only problem is I do enjoy like having the separate Joy-Cons. Like it's
I like the
with a strategy RPG, you do not need to like worry about reaction times and like all that kind of thing. So
yeah,
it's
That just feels weird. It feels so weird to split controllers.
I use this thing. I put them all together like that.
Oh,
I do.
No, man.
I used that the other day. My Pro controller was dead. I used that at home the other day. My Pro
Freedom.
This is all.
Freedom.
Yep, that's what I have. I had my Pro controller, but I was charging it, so I just used that.
And it's like, I can go like this and play if I want. Like, just like hang out. Like,
I guess with Fire Emblem, it's like, yeah, you can do that with. I could see
honestly,
I feel like you're in jeopardy with a clicker there.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Honestly,
Sure.
I wish they would make a Joy-Con Elite that make it just a little bit bigger, have a true D-pad, have like the.
Doesn't like Hori have something? Some like crazy new Joy-Con?
I think so. I gotta look it up.
Party company definitely came out with some bigger, more beefy Joy-Con. But yeah, that'd be cool to have an Elite or something that would be more.
I feel like we should get that. I mean, it took Sony a long time. They still haven't done it yet. So, but
Xbox,
it's such a great market for it. So. All right.
Best,
what other news things we've got?
Real D-pad too, the next iteration.
Yep.
Yes, please, real D-pad. I will buy another Joy-Con when that happens.
I hope it does.
Yeah. Let's see. Outer Worlds is coming to Switch. That was also announced.
That's apparently a little later, but it's coming.
That's impressive.
I probably will get this now, though.
It's impressive though that that's coming for Switch, and I might get it on Switch. Like, it's so much better to play it. Like, just ease of use, home use, and portable use. You never have to stop playing. It's great. So it's impressive that they're going to be able to pull that off on the Switch. I mean, the game is not as big as the Fallout games, so at least that helps, I think, with design. So
the graphics don't seem like crazy,
they're not going to be
realistic style. Like, let's throw these like impressive visuals at you. It's more.
That's the thing, and I said it before, but like graphics are not a detriment, and we saw that with Skyrim, we saw that with Doom, and then especially this year when they announced Witcher 3. Like after that, it's like. I don't think. I mean, obviously, you're going to have concessions made, but I think unless you're super sensitive and like absolutely refuse to go 60 anymore, even modern consoles aren't doing that with some games. It's just like it's just a matter of how much compromise you get and how big is the game. Like that's what I hear is actually a bigger detriment is the cartridge size. So
yeah, that's true. All right, what else do we have in news?
I didn't put it on here, but the quarterlies results just came out for Sony and Nintendo. So
I saw Sony's over a million, 100 million.
Huge milestone. Yep. PS4 over 100 million.
Yeah.
At last. They did revise their forecast downward by I think 1 million units. So some people are reading into that confirms The Last of Us 2 is being delayed until the new year. And I don't know.
Yeah, there's no way Last of Us comes out this year, right?
No, at this point, no. I mean, we're way beyond the point where retailers needed to know
to ramp that up. Yeah.
And then Nintendo announced Switch is at like
32.8, I think,
something like that.
I just saw it. I know that their filter was
32 point something.
Did the PS4 outsold that for the quarter though, didn't it?
It's outsold for the quarter.
How is that possible? Because I thought the Switch took every month in NPD.
No, it did. But the thing is, you have to look at shipments versus sold.
Okay.
So, yeah, PlayStation sell through. Because the thing is, I mean, most likely we don't know this for sure, but like Nintendo was trying to balance. Hey, we don't want to send too many of the old style units because the Switch Lite is coming out, plus the Switch Revision is coming out because the older models have that exploit which they want to close the loop on. So they don't want to ship a bunch this quarter and just have them sitting on shelves because then when August and September hits, you have all these original units that nobody's going to want, especially when it's like, oh, well, I want the new one with the new battery. It'd be like for the same price. It's like
maybe they can advertise the exploit. Hey guys, here's an exploit.
Get one of the original models before you can't exploit this anymore.
Do you remember doing that for the HDMI port on the Xbox 360? I remember doing this. Asking what model I want to see the model before I bought it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
Even with the PS Vita, like people were like,
that's true.
Models to see what because
for jailbreaking it, right?
The exploits for that was ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Fire Emblem's voice actor, Chris. Yeah, Chris Nielsen.
What's funny is I don't think I've heard him speak yet. So.
He's getting replaced in a patch. His dialogue is getting tossed out because they're due to he had basically a run-in with abuse, sexual abuse too.
He basically somebody called him out for some string of abuse and being a creep and all that stuff. And well, not only that, but apparently he was like leaking information like way ahead. He's like, I'm a character in Fire Emblem 3, and it's called Fire Emblem Three Houses. And it's like, wait a second, like, bro, you can't be talking about this shit. Like, you're under NDA.
Things, yeah.
Yeah, he signed things, and like the thing is, apparently because of that, he knows even other stuff that fortunately he hasn't leaked, or the person he told hasn't leaked out of respect. But yeah, it was a combination of that, some sexual predator, creepy
that's what I heard.
assault. But then, like, the thing is, like, at least with that, and I'm not defending him at all. But if it were just that, you could sort of be like, it's a he says, she says kind of thing. But then outright, he came and like made a Tumblr post or whatever, and just admitted to all this shit. And like, I guess in one aspect, like, kudos to that guy for owning up to like taking accountability. But at the same time, is like, I think that's when Nintendo's like, we gotta.
You're out.
Cut you out. Like, unfortunately, we gotta like sever our ties with you. Like, it's you admit to all this shit. We can't have that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to expect that. I mean, he had to expect that. So
that is one of my one of my issues, I guess you could say, with Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like, I don't like when a character doesn't speak really, and it's weird because this voice actor is hardly in this game from what I've seen so far. And like I've played almost 6 hours of the game, and I don't think I've heard him speak.
He only has, I think, battle dialogue.
Right, it's like more like that kind of
grunts. Yeah, it's the Nintendo thing.
Yeah,
it's a Persona thing.
Exactly, and I don't like it there either. It's like I want a character that's gonna talk and that's gonna because you're answering questions. Like, just give me, I know what the text says here, but then just say some canned thing. Like I don't. It doesn't have to be exactly what the text says in the.
It's weird because the last two games did it with Robin and Awakening and Corrin and Fate. So I don't know why it was why they went this way. I think the character's actually supposed to be like that because like as you start playing it, it's not like a spoiler thing. Like people even say like they always comment like, oh, you're so dark and mysterious. Like it's not that whole thing. It's like okay, like all right, like flatter me and stuff like that. It's like all right.
Yeah.
It's funny too because you do have the you can pick what gender you want in the beginning, and it's like everyone's like, "Oh, you're his child," and like they don't say daughter or son. It's just like you're the child of, and
and it's just the professor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Lastly, we have Gears 5 will not have 4-player co-op. It's still not coming back.
And they said don't. And based on the trailers I saw, I didn't expect.
You guys posted this last time. I thought we went through this with that last one, Judgment.
We did. I just, there's always been the hope that it would come back, but I understand now with designing of the game, with having more things on screen, by having less players on screen, that's how it works.
Yeah, and I guarantee they probably have the statistics to show like that had to be the least played option.
Yeah.
We played it. Corey, myself.
All the time. Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, they're trying to tell a story more now, and to tell that story, you need to
cinematic now.
Certain things, and based on like I was like, is this even going to be like multiplayer? Like, I guess you could have like 2 players.
Is this even going to be multiplayer?
But there was a couple things I did want to mention here too because it's interesting. Like Google Stadia, they can't and won't assure that the games you purchase will be yours forever.
Dude, every new thing we learn about Stadia like makes me even less and less interested. And like before, I was just kind of like, okay, well, I don't think it's for me, but I'll wait,
Yeah.
And then now every week, every other week, every month, I'm just like, nope. Like this sounds like a hard, like not even like I'll try it out kind of thing. It's like I want nothing to do with this like at all.
I was thinking like this is bad press for Microsoft and anybody else who's going to try this later because if Stadia comes out like in this form and it's it hurts the other sales.
And that's
maybe that's Google's grand plan. It's like let's just do streaming so terribly that it ruins it for everybody else.
Maybe that might be them. They can do it, but it does.
Sure. And the last thing I did want to mention because it's your favorite game, Rockstar hasn't paid taxes in the UK for like 10 years, apparently. So that's crazy.
I missed that whole thing. All right, my headphones miraculously flew over my laptop when you were talking about Rockstar.
It was a miracle.
All right,
Big Two is claiming that it was like 42 million pounds in tax relief. That wasn't like
none of these big companies do. Like Amazon hasn't paid fucking taxes. Like it's fuck these big companies, man.
Yeah,
I forget. Like recently, somebody called me out because like I was like mentioning exploiting like Costco's very generous return policy, and like, oh, so you don't mind taking advantage of corporations? It's like, no, not even a little bit at all. Like,
No.
I don't give.
Dude,
Like,
it's in
they
their
don't.
policy. You can like people like they actually had to adjust some of the policies with like certain electronics because you could return a TV like 10 years later to them.
Yeah, I will never forget one of the first times I ever went to Costco. This dude in front of me, I was returning something that was like kind of legit, like like the tags or whatever. This dude had this computer office chair that was so beat up, so gross, like the foam padding was like wearing away, like there was like the I don't know, the materials were just flayed and frayed everywhere or whatever. And I was just like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, I need to return this. Woman did it without even question. It was just like, all right, let me look up your account.
That's the reason I bought the Xbox Elite controller.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. Yeah,
like, so they'll allow you to return anything in any condition.
Yeah,
so,
but that's the thing is like some of the retail, like Costco and Walmart. I mean, they have so much pressure of these retailers that they have to. Like, it's just like, fuck you. Like, it's like fuck you money. It's like, you're accepting this return. I don't give a shit. I'm Walmart, you know.
It's interesting.
that's it.
All right, we have that's it for news. Actually,
Jim,
what?
talk about how you don't have Fire Emblem again.
We're
supposed to talk about it in the Gamecast, but why don't you have it?
Oh, because they don't have it anywhere. What do you mean?
You didn't pre-order it.
Oh yeah, I didn't pre-order it. Yes,
directly after you had issues getting Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 because you didn't pre-order, right?
Yes, but even if I had pre-ordered, it still was like 5 days before it came out at that point. After I had the issues getting Ultimate Alliance, so I could have pre-ordered. What happened with this game is I was trying to get the special edition, and I never got to pre-order that. So I just thought I had pre-ordered this at Best Buy or something, and I never did. That's really what happened with this game because I do pre-order. Like I went through a pre-order frenzy when I
remember.
I must have missed this game, and I don't know why I did. I really thought I had it on pre-order. Like I even said it to you, I think on chat. I was just like, I'm gonna go pick it up at pre-order. Yeah. So, but then I'm like, now I have GameStop credits. So I'm like, I want to use this. I have a $10 off coupon because of their stupid rewards points they give you when you trade games in. Plus, I have the credit from the games I traded in. So I'm like, I want to go buy at the store, and they never have it in stock. So then I went to Target. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna buy at Target. Didn't have it at Target twice. So now I'm like, tomorrow I will be buying it digitally with my GameStop credit without the $10 off coupon because it has to be in store. But I'll buy it at that point. Just whatever. It's like going to cost me like $12, so I might as well buy it. It's just I'll wait until I can see.
Get some stock in. It's Wednesday.
That's what I mean. Like
I mean, if you don't buy it anywhere, I mean, talking about exploiting policies, like you can just buy it at Target or Walmart or wherever, open it, play it, and then when GameStop finally does get it and use
bring it back over. Yeah.
And then don't open that copy and just bring it back to Target.
Yeah.
See, just say.
Yeah, I wish Walmart would have it. I could probably go pick it up at Walmart, but all right. Anyways, okay. I think that's going to wrap up this episode of the Gamecast. You can write us podcast at allycangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allycangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Tune into the spoiler cast coming up. Thank you. We appreciate it. See you next week.